Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Sunstone, and in today's video we're going to take a closer look at the map of Starlet Town that we got a glimpse of in the most recent developer update. If you want an overview of everything in that update, I will link my other video in the description of this one, but we are just going to focus on a deep dive into the map. So we actually got to take a look at two separate images of the map. One is a wider overview and the other is a closer look at the center of the town. First, let's just take a look at the wider overview of the UI. So we can see all the icons up here. This is the map icon. This looks like it may be our relationship UI. This looks like a backpack icon, so probably our inventory. This could be a crafting UI or a tool UI. And the others could be some sort of journal, diary, quest UIs, skill tree. Those could be in there. We also have our currency on the top left, our stamina, the time of day, and then on the bottom we have a town ranking. So we're currently at an F. We're not doing so well, but it looks like we can level this up and upgrade our overall town rank. So I'm imagining that this might be through completing various community projects, town errands, quest lines related to the town. We've seen one shot of the town board, which shows a community garden project along with the recycling center and the museum. So this might be one of the ways in which we complete projects to rank up our town. This ranking might also be dependent on how much of the trash and pollution we have cleared from the ocean. It may be related to storylines that we progress with Mayor Connor specifically, or even other townies. There could be a number of ways that we level up our town ranking, but I wonder what the ultimate end game sort of state of the island will be for having like an A or A+ ranked town. I also wonder if there are any rewards for leveling up the town as a whole, or if the reward itself is just having a beautiful, blossoming, thriving town. We can also see on the right hand side here that we can hide the UI. We can also put a marker on the map, so presumably we can mark a waypoint like, oh, I want to go to Sam's, and then it'll sort of direct us. I don't know if there will be a mini map in the corner that will kind of show us where we're headed. That's all still to be determined. I love the art style of the map. I love the cute little icons and buildings. I think it looks fabulous. This is definitely just a portion of the Starlet Town map, because we know from the other map that we've seen, there are other areas of town that are not included here. So for example, we are not able to see the mine entrance anywhere. We do not see the temple at the lake. We don't see the lighthouse or the beach at the southern part of the island. So there's definitely still a lot of pieces that are not included in this map. So this is just a snapshot of Starlet Town, and perhaps even a smaller snapshot of the island as a whole, because we have seen on the diving map that there are actually other areas above where Starlet Town is. There's a desert area and then further greenery at the north part of the island. We still don't know if this will be accessible or if this is just a design choice for the diving map itself, but it is exciting to think about that there may be more to the island that we will be able to unlock eventually as we progress through the story. But let's just focus on what's here and now and what we have in front of us. So starting in the lower left corner of this map, we have the player farm. So this is our farmhouse. This is where we will be able to plant crops, place farm buildings like coops and barns, and eventually also grow fruit trees and plants. So it looks like we have quite a spacious area to work with. We will be able to upgrade our house at some point, but this looks like it'll be the starter house. Now I'm really excited to see this little icon here, because this looks like this is the pet house that I've speculated on and that we've seen in the developer diaries. It looks like it will be on our property. I don't know if we'll start with it or if we'll have to build it or purchase it or what, but it looks like it's going to be right here, and it almost looks like a mini version of our house, which is really cute. It would actually be sweet if we could customize it to match whatever our house is. I think that'd be really cute. Also on the left here, it looks like an empty plot for something. I don't really know what this could possibly be for, because we know that we'll be able to place the barns and the coops just anywhere on our land. They don't have to go specifically in any one spot. I'm not sure if this will be some sort of project that we'll build. I don't know if this could be where the community garden will be. I mean, it does seem kind of out of the way if all the islanders have to come to our farm to participate in the community garden, but if there's no space for it anywhere else, it could be the case. I'm not sure what else we could have on our farms. I don't know if maybe this could be like a guest house or maybe some sort of workspace, or who knows. I think it definitely has to tie in with the story though, and probably something that's completely unrevealed so far, so that's very exciting to me, and I definitely think it's something. You can just barely see, it looks like there's a pond down here. So this would be an area that we would be able to fill up our watering can when we're farming, which is nice and very useful and very important. So if we move up north from our farm, we have the ranch, which is operated by Jack and Kenny. It also appears like there's a barn over here. So this must be where they keep their animals, and then they have a little area to roam around in. We can't really see the huntress cabin anywhere, but I imagine it's in the general vicinity. If we move further over to the right here, we can see the carpenter house, which is where Joko, Dinda, Archie, and Surya live. And it looks like there's a little workstation out here, or just some spare materials. It's interesting to me that there are stairs, or what looks like stairs, that are going down to this area. This might just be like a nice fishing area, but it seems very purposeful. So you must be able to like catch special fish here, or there must be something special going on in this area, because otherwise I don't see why they'd have like a specific like staircase to this little area. And then if we just move down south, this is to the right of our farm and our farmhouse. I love all these rocks here. The landscaping is really cool, and I believe this is the bridge that we've seen in the prototype footage of fishing, as well as in the background of the butterfly bug of the month and this stone bridge here. And then if we continue to the right, it'll bring us into town. Down here is Millie's house, where Yuri also lives, which we've now seen the exterior of. And to the right of that house is actually where Frank and Erica live with their cats Peanut and Butter. So we just also saw this exterior being revealed. We did get a glimpse of this in the background of that photo, which looked like a fountain. It actually looks like there's quite an extravagant looking fountain here, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this looks like a mermaid right here. It's hard to say what the other shapes could be, but if we're following the logic of the Coral 3, I don't know why I keep thinking things like with this geometry give me giant vibes. And then this like could be representing the goddess of flowers. It looks like this could be a flower on top. I'm really not sure, but it would make sense if they were somehow honoring the Coral 3 in this little monument. Let's just backtrack for a second and get a wider overview again of the map to get our bearings here. So we took a look at this third of the map, as well as some of the lower aspects. Let's just jump back up to the top here. These look like grapes. We know that Luke's family owns and operates a vineyard, so it's possible that this is their property up here. And then if we move to the right, these do look like tombstones, which I did say quite a while back that it looked like they might be working on a graveyard. Between Pablo's bio that states he spends his spare time helping clean up the graveyard, and then also in the dev diaries they sort of hinted at a cemetery of some sort. Further to the right, we have some sort of building here. And if we compare it to the bigger map of Starlet Town, it does seem to approximate the area that Red and I thought Pufferfish might be at, with the little mini golf course. And then based on the shape of the building, which looks a lot like the building in the propaganda type poster, this could be the entrance to Pufferfish. And then let's just move back to the town center. Although this looks nothing like what we have seen previously of the community center, I think it definitely has to be, because it has this board out front, which looks very much like a sort of notice board that you would go to get quests and see the calendar and all that. I mean, this looks like a serious upgrade. It looks beautiful, and it looks like there's a nice big area here. Maybe festivals could be held here, or NPCs just kind of hang out in this area. Now, previously it was stated that the library, the lab, and the museum were all in this building, which it does look big enough that that could be the case. However, I'm thinking that that's been changed to it just being the library of those three, because this icon looks very much like a museum icon. So this looks like it could be the museum here. Additionally, the lab looks like it's here. This gives me like university campus vibes. I don't know what other things could be going on in the community center then. I mean, maybe it's a huge library and then sort of a front desk area, but maybe there's more to the community center than we could even imagine at this point, since it's so big. Now to the left here, this was sort of an area that was on Starlet Town map, but not really. It was just like one small little structure. This sort of looks like a dumpster here. I'm not sure what this could be. It looks like a little shelter almost. And then yeah, like a bunch of cardboard boxes and like bins and stuff. I thought this might be an area for recycling, because one of the community projects that we've seen on the town board is a recycling center. Maybe we don't actually have to build it to begin with, but we have to sort of organize and fix it up, and that's the project. I also just have to say that I love the colors and the layers here. I don't really know what these towers are. And then finally, let's just take a look at the right side of the map. So like I said, we have what looks like the lab here. So this is where Ling and Surya work and conduct their research on the coral reefs. This looks like a very like chic town townhouse of some sort. This area looks really nice. It looks just sort of like a little park with a monument in the center. I love the colors. It reminds me of fall, and I love fall. And then on the right here, this looks like the hair salon as indicated by the scissors. So it actually looks like the hair salon is on the right hand side here with the little scissors sign. And then this is likely Socket Electronics based off of what we've seen from the Charles bug of the month, as well as knowing that the hair salon and Socket Electronics were planned to sort of be part of the same building. Also, this looks like the area from the trailer where the player is walking past the Starlet Town sign and then walking past Socket Electronics. And although this looks different from the general store that we've seen in some ways, it also looks very similar. We have the fruit stand out front. We have the same rounded front of the building. This definitely looks like Sam's General Store. This just looks like a nice little feature in the center of this plaza, little sign. Maybe this plaza has its own little name because this is the Starlet Town sign. And then down at the bottom, we can see the tavern. And the one thing that's interesting to me about this shot is actually the icon that they chose, because I would expect like a drink or a food item for the fish and sip or the tavern, but instead it looks like a little arcade controller kind of thing. And so we do know that darts will be a part of the tavern and that could be potentially a mini game. So I'm wondering if there's actually additional games here, and I don't know, it just seems like if it's a big enough deal to make the icon like a joystick, that maybe playing games is a big part of coming to the tavern. Maybe a lot of the mini games that were a part of one of the Kickstarter stretch goals will actually be added here. This might be a really fun place to socialize with NPCs and your friends in multiplayer mode and play some mini games. Who knows? So zooming back out, I'm pretty sure that's basically everything that we can pick out in terms of the architecture, but one other thing that I wanted to note are all these little white dots that you can see around the island. So it does appear that these may indicate where the NPCs are on the island, and I'm basing this off of the next photo we're gonna take a look at, which is this photo here. And at first it just looks like a more zoomed in version of the first photo of the center of the town. However, this photo is actually to showcase the newly announced feature of NPC Map Tracking. So in order to unlock the map tracking feature for various NPCs, we will have to level up our social mastery category on the skill tree, and then we will also need to level up our relationship heart levels with each of the NPCs that we want to reveal on the map. So it doesn't seem like it's going to be an easy task, and I don't think it should be. I think this is a really cool feature that we should definitely have to work towards earning. And here we can see an icon of Alice. So whoever this player is, they have leveled up their hearts with Alice, they've leveled up their social mastery skills, and they are able to see where Alice is, I guess, at all times of the day. So presumably she is this white dot here, and I'm guessing that she's chatting with Noah because they often grab coffee and talk about aliens. And so based off of this, all the other little white dots we saw in the wider picture are probably NPCs that are roaming around, and it could be that they don't show up on the map at all until you've unlocked that level of social mastery, or it could be that they are just white dots until you do, and then they get the icon once you've sort of reached that threshold of relationship and skill. I'm imagining there will be a way to toggle the icons on and off in case you just want to have a clean look at the map with no character icons at all. I'm so thrilled about this feature. I think it's going to be a game changer. I mean, also being able to figure out where you are on the map is really helpful, of course. That is just about everything that we can take away from this map. Let me know if you spotted anything that I missed, or if you have any speculations on some of the mysteries that we discussed. And now it's time for your top comments. So these comments were left on my last video, which covered the September developer update. I did just want to quickly apologize for the delay in getting this video up. I had pre-recorded most of it and meant to get it up last week, but I did come down with a bit of a cold this week and I'm feeling just fine, but you can still hear it a little bit in my voice for this segment and the next. So thank you so much for your understanding and thank you for your patience. So the first comment is from Barb that says, "What an exciting update. It keeps those in the loop that aren't playing the alpha. It is disappointing that the early release has been delayed, but totally understandable. I'd rather see a great quality product than one that is rushed and needs mega fixes." And it seemed like a lot of you agreed with this one, 48 upvotes. I also completely agree. I feel like this last update update specifically really did a good job of keeping everyone in the know and almost making everyone feel like they're a part of the alpha as well. And although there is that disappointment that early release is now being pushed back into 2022 rather than the fourth quarter of this year, I do think it's the best choice for the game. I agree, it's always better to wait, allowing the team more time to flesh out all the details. Opal Harmony said, "I really like the environmental focus of this game. The reality of dormant oil rigs and dead fish are certainly showing us a future if we continue to disconnect with nature. I think it is splendid that they have a coral nursery to help the coral revive. You only have to look at our beautiful Great Barrier Reef off the coast of Australia that has lost half of its coral since 1995. Once again, 39 of you upvoted this. I couldn't have said it better myself, honestly. I probably have tried in many videos, but this really sums it up. It is a sad reality that we're living in, and I do wish more people were sort of on board with environmental movements, but it all starts with awareness, and if people don't even have the privilege of awareness or privilege of education in the first place, then it's really difficult to follow up with action. So I think it's extra exciting that a video game can have that sort of influence on an entire population of people and sort of bringing this issue into awareness, especially the coral, because a lot of the times things that are in the ocean kind of slip our minds because, you know, we're not seeing it every day. A lot of it's unknown. I mean, we've barely even discovered all of the ocean. And Japheth said, "Honestly, glad and sad that it got delayed. As much as I would want to have the game now, it's good to know that they're giving the game the time it needs to be developed." And this sort of echoes what I was mentioning earlier. The more time to fully develop all of those features of the game, the better, in my opinion. I will wait forever for this game. I have the best patience. There are a lot of really great comments on this video. I really appreciate you all for leaving your thoughts. Be sure to leave your comments down below on this video and maybe you'll be featured in my next. And before I leave you today, let's take a look at today's amazing fan art. So since Alice was the featured NPC for the map tracking, I thought it would be very fitting to include some beautiful fan art of none other than Alice herself. This piece of art was done by Thom. I've featured her art on the channel before of Karen. I think she is such a talented artist, and I absolutely love this one of Alice. It's so sweet, so cute. I love her body language. I just love Alice as a character. I'm so excited to interact with her on Coral Island and get to know more about her storyline. So be sure to leave Thom some love in the comments down below. And once again, thank you so much for sharing your amazing art with us. Well, there you have it, friends. That is just about everything that we know so far about the map of Coral Island. I think it looks amazing and that the map features will be really useful and exciting. I think there are so many mysteries to uncover in the world of Coral Island. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and until next time, take care.